Hello everyone, back again working on a Polestar 2, and I have a customer complaint of going over speed bumps or potholes and the vehicle's making noise, like a popping noise. Let's check it out and see what's going on here. What's making a noise here is actually not the struts and not the springs or anything here. Above this, we have something called a strut bearing. This is a strut bearing that sits on top of the struts above here. It's made of plastic, which is, in my opinion, a horrible idea. But what this does is it sits on top of the spring, and then another mount sits here, and what it does is that when you're turning the vehicle, the spring turns with it. And what happens is inside here, little ball bearings, they break and make a popping noise. I'm going to show you how to take this apart and then reinstall new bearings. And also, I'm going to show you why it fails and what comes apart. It doesn't matter if you have a performance pack or a regular stock model. They use the same strut mounts. There might be different struts in different vehicles in the performance pack and then in the regular model, but they share the same strut mount. And this is what is making most of the noise in both the performance pack and in the regular models. To start off removing the struts, I want you to remove this 7mm bolt that holds the brake line in. I want you to remove this 15mm nut that holds the sway bar link in. This 17mm nut that holds the tie rod, and this 13mm bolt that holds the CV axle. Now that the brake line's loose, you can move the sway bar out, and the 13mm bolt is out of the CV axle. I now want you to take a hammer and I want you to hit here so that the tie rod will pop out. With the tie rod popped, I want you to move the tie rod to the side, which makes this move freely. I want you to turn it this way, and I want you to remove two 18mm bolts that holds the caliper on, and when you do so, I want you to hook it somewhere where it's safe. With the caliper hanging on the side now, I hang it off this bracket that holds the brake line here, which is strong enough. I want you to come over to this ABS sensor plug, and I want you to remove it and take all the clips off around it. With the ABS sensor wire now free, I want you to tuck it behind this brake line and out of your way. On the control arm here, there's a level sensor, and on the back side of the control arm underneath, there's a 10mm nut I want you to remove so that this level sensor can separate from the control arm, and I want you to move it to the side over here. On the back side of a spindle here, where the ball joint is, there's a 15mm bolt I want you to remove. Now that everything's separated, it's time to get some special tools to separate the shock from the control arm. This special tool is like a huge C-clamp, and what it does is it compresses the spring so that I can take the shock out. This clamp is huge, but it's really cool. Make sure not to use a power tool, but crank down on this and compress the spring. Now with the strut compressed, you can turn this, and we're going to use another special tool here, or you can use a pry bar, it doesn't matter, but to lock it in to the control arm. And pull the control arm down. And separate. And now I want you to remove the CD axle and pull it to the side. I now want you to remove the special tool. I now want you to remove the rotor, and to do so I want you to use a T30 to remove this bolt here. With the rotor removed now, it's not going to be so heavy. I want you to remove 1, 2, 3 13mm bolts that hold the strut mount in. Make sure that you pay attention to this because it's going to drop down. This being a performance model, here's your adjustments. I want you to turn around and remove this 15mm bolt. To remove the strut from the spindle, we're going to have to use a special tool. The special tool sits inside of this wedge and separates the spindle from the shock. I remove this, and I want you to now remove the spindle from the strut itself. Here's my strut machine. And what I do is this notch right here, I line it up facing me. Because if you see, at the top of the mount, this notch here match up with the bottom of the shock. And also, you want to make sure that your springs are sitting flush. And now I want you to remove the 18mm nut after compressing the shock. Now that the strut bearing and strut are separated, I can show you what makes noise here. And this is an upper and lower strut bearing, and as you can hear, it's making noise. Let's pull the top off here. Oh. So you can see it's actually broken right here. And inside, you can see the ball bearings are floating around and actually missing some of the ball bearings in here. So what's happening is that when you're moving around and bouncing around, these ball bearings that support the strut are breaking or popping out of this. And this is not just this manufacturer. My brand new Tesla makes the same noise. My Model Y has the same issue. They use plastic strut bearings. In a Lucid, they use plastic strut bearings that make the same noise. In a Rivian, they use the same plastic strut bearings, not the same exact model, but the same idea. This is plastic, all of it. And what happens is, that much weight on a car of plastic, this is what happens, it breaks. They want you to replace these every 40 or 50,000 miles so that the manufacturer makes money. There's no other explanation why they wouldn't make that metal. You have a metal upper half of the strut bearing, but a plastic bottom. All the new vehicles are using these strut bearings that are plastic, which doesn't make any sense. They should really make some kind of upgraded strut bearings for these vehicles, especially being a performance vehicle. That's just my opinion. It's a great vehicle, but again, every manufacturer has their issues, and I don't know one vehicle right now, especially an electric vehicle. Maybe Mercedes is the only one, but all my Teslas that I've worked on, especially the two that I've owned, have all had strut bearing issues. And the same thing with Polestar, Rivian, and Lucids, all that I've worked on, they all have strut bearing issues. Maybe they all should stop using these plastic strut bearings. This is what I replace to get rid of the noise on the struts. I replace the upper bearing, and here's the part number. the lower bearing, which is this plastic bearing. And the reason I replaced the upper bearing is this rubber here wears down. I replaced the axle nut because the thread lock on it, the axle spacer, a new strut nut because it's only a one-time use nut, a new sway bar link nut, and a new tie rod nut. All these are one-time nuts and bolts. They say to replace them every time. When assembling, make sure that the notches match up on the strut mounts, like so. Make sure that your spring lines up into the strut, and you don't want it to set like this or this. You want it in the groove. When tightening the nut down, do not tighten it all the way because it needs to be torqued down when it's in the vehicle. It's now time to release the pressure on the strut. Here's the new strut assembled, and as you see, the notches line up all the way down to the bottom of the shock there. It's now time to attach the strut back to the spindle and put the 15mm bolt back in. When doing so, make sure that the grooves line up into the spindle here. Now that the strut is assembled, it's a little heavy, but not as heavy with the rotor on. I want you to put it up back into the vehicle and put these three 13mm bolts back in. With the strut back now in the vehicle, we need to compress the spring so that we can put the control arm and ball joint back into the spindle. With the spring compressed now, I want you to put this spacer onto the CV axle, and then put the CV axle into the spindle, and then just hand screw the nut in. Now with the ball joint back into the spindle, I want you to put the 15mm bolt back in. Decompress the shock and remove the tool. Install the rotor and the T30 bolt. I want you to now reinstall the wiring harness for the ABS sensor. Install sway bar link and new nut, and I also want you to install the tie rod with a new castle nut. I now want you to install the caliper and the 7mm bolt for the brake line. I now want you to torque the axle nut 45 Newton meters and then 90 degrees. After torquing the axle nut down, I want you to install the wheel and then go to the other side and replace the strut bearings on the other side. Strut bearings are like shoes, or struts are like shoes. You don't replace one shoe, you replace both. With the vehicle on the ground and the struts loaded, I want you to come over to this strut nut and that one, and I want you to tighten them down to 60 foot-pounds. Now that everything's torqued down and put back together and reassembled, I want you to put the cover over the top here in the front, and I want you to test drive the vehicle. This will get rid of the noise. I only see maybe 10% of the struts being bad. It's usually these plastic mounts that are going bad, and customers' complaints are popping, turning, over bumps. Any kind of noises like that coming from the front of your vehicle is most likely these strut mounts. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please like and subscribe. Until the next time, thank you for watching Fully Charged Zone.